We're here today in my hometown, Delray Beach in South Florida, and we're going to be attending a workshop where people are coming together to decide how they can make this beautiful town by the sea greener.
Delray Beach took a really innovative step a few months ago and created a green task force. They asked 7 citizens or residents of the city to contribute to a set of recommendations. We had the option of simply generating those ideas ourselves, but we also wanted to get the public's input, because we think it's really, really important that whatever Delray does in terms of greening the city or improving the city with environmental thinking in mind, they should do it in line with the priorities of the citizens.
Citizens of Delray were split up into groups, with one member of the Green Task Force acting as moderator. The workshop gathered ideas about 6 environmental areas.
So those 6 areas are sustainable urban design, water efficiency and conservation, energy efficiency and greenhouse gas reduction, that's from buildings, and fuel efficiency and greenhouse gas reduction from transport, waste reduction and recycling, and then indoor and outdoor environmental quality. That means chemicals inside buildings and chemicals and pollution outside buildings.
Can you tell me why things like this are important to Delray Beach?
For me, they're important because this is a place where I live. It's my neighborhood, it's my community. And if we don't, every one of us in every community, if we don't start focusing on energy efficiency, there won't be an Earth in 100 years. The ozone layer is being destroyed every day. And if we don't start getting smart about this, my grandson will live to see an Earth that's black, not green.
I think it's very important to raise the awareness of what each person can do individually to make the community more green and help the environment, of course. And it's educational. I mean, I've learned a few things being here today.
Encourage or require developers to have 2% of their construction.
The moderators presented the top ideas from each group. They then stuck those ideas on the relevant display board at the back of the room.
Historic preservation, using existing buildings that we have and retrofitting them to use them again, as opposed to tearing them down and going through all new construction materials and waste and so forth.
Create green economic zones in which you kind of create clusters of companies and you have them kind of compete against each other about who's being more green.
City containers next to trash containers for recyclables. So you have recyclable containers and the waste containers next to each other and well labeled so people can actually recycle throughout the city.
Ban completely in the city all toxic pesticides for landscaping and for buildings, and utilize organic, easily absorbable substances.
Cities should have a composting site where they take yard waste, etc., create compost, and then they can either sell it or give it back to the people for their gardens.
Does that include food waste as well, or just
food, including food and green waste?
At the end of the session, everyone was given green dots to vote with. They could stick as many as they liked around their favourite ideas.
People understand, they hear recycling, they hear sustainability, but they really don't know what it is or what it's about. And I think things like this that bring people together to work together as teams, to create ideas, to really get involved. They understand a lot more how important it is to the community, how important it is to their own lives, and to the environment around them.
Workshops like this have to take place more and more frequently. Businesses and foundations need to fund these programs, and our legislators, both in the city and the county and the state and the federal government, have to really wake up and understand that the natural resources on the planet Earth are finite, and if we don't do something to preserve them, they will be extinguished.
We've gathered input from citizens. We've had a really perfect turnout. The right number of people came, all with really good ideas, and they contributed. We had a very lively session, And now what we're going to do is take the ideas from the citizens and include them in our prioritized set of recommendations for the city.
So what about for people in other cities, other towns across America? How can they start this sort of thing, start a task force?
I think the first step is kind of to just do what our city did, which is to just say we want to get a bunch of people in a room. We're going to appoint or whatever, or, 7, 10, 5 people to sit in a room and figure out how to go in this direction. And what you'll quickly find, or what we quickly found, is it's not reinventing the wheel, it's not rocket science. There's a ton of information out there. It's almost too much information, actually. One of our biggest hurdles was filtering through all the information and trying to organize it and learn as fast as we could, because there's so many best practice examples, there's so many directions a city can go in, there's so many programs you can implement, from transportation to building to recycling incentives. There's so many different ideas out there, and kind of distilling that information down for what's best for your particular community is sort of the first task. And the only way to do that is to get some people sitting down and devoting some time to it.
What's your city doing to help? Let us know at fade2green.com or email mystory@fade2green.com.